our research is not just about investing. Our research is educating individuals and businesses about how the world is going to change and how to get on the right side of change and stay there, so that they can not only do that for themselves, but guide their children and their grandchildren. So I think this is much more than just investing, and I guess the technologies were right to enable us to do this. You know, it couldn't have been done 20 years ago. So I think everything came together.
Do you think innovation is an asset class? And if it's in fact an asset class, how big can it be, and how invested do you think the market is currently?
Well, we think that if you mean the market, institutions in particular, we think they are short innovation in a big way. We think individuals have a much higher weight in innovation and are more correctly positioned, actually. Yes. So innovation, is it an asset class? No. I think before crypto, this is the new asset class, crypto, the crypto asset world. And before that, equities in the 1600s. So those are asset classes. This is a categorization, and interestingly, we can look at what happened with emerging markets. MSCI, what's its claim to fame? One of its biggest is creating the category of investing called emerging markets, because when I was at Capital Group, and Capital was a global investment firm at the time, way ahead of its time, and then finally, blockchain technology, we know that China is going to have its own digital currency, the digital yuan, and it's interesting to see how they're evolving that. You know, it's programmable, so if they want to prevent transactions, they'll be able to do that. So it's really, really interesting how quickly China is embracing these technologies and running with them. I think on that score, they want the digital yuan to become the reserve currency of Asia. So lots going on.
So we would be remiss. So turning to other asset class, Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, do you think, or what's your sort of vision for Bitcoin? Is it going to become a reserve currency? Is it scarcity value like real estate? It started the purview of every college student, including my own, about Bitcoin before their parents did. So what's your kind of vision going at 5 years and 10 years for Bitcoin as an asset class and a value?
We don't have to go out 5 or 10 years. It's here. We believe, we wrote a white paper in 2016 called Bitcoin Ringing the Bell for a New Asset Class. And so, yes, we believe it's here. We believe that Bitcoin is the reserve currency of the crypto asset ecosystem. We also believe that there will be very few huge winners in the crypto space. We think that cryptocurrencies are going to be the huge winners. So this is really flipping the internet on its head in terms of how it evolved. And the internet evolved without a payments infrastructure. And the reason for that is nobody thought commerce would evolve on it. This was for intelligence and academia, and consumers in the United States weren't even allowed to use the internet legally until 1991, Telecommunications Act. We believe that the Bitcoin is, and crypto world, the value accrual, where we will see most of the value accrue is to the cryptocurrencies themselves. This is not what happened in the internet. In the internet, the protocols, so Bitcoin's blockchain is one protocol, Ethereum another, the protocols basically just became standards, right? Technology standards upon which these very valuable applications were built, Facebook, Amazon, and so forth. The value accrued to the applications. This time we think the value will accrue to the protocols themselves and the currencies as measured by their currencies. We believe that Bitcoin is already the reserve currency of the crypto asset ecosystem, and we can see that in that many crypto assets, most I would say, are priced in terms of Bitcoin. So that's the unit of account. The currencies are very important. We think there will be maybe 4 or 5 that are going to accrue the most value. Now, DeFi, watching it evolve, I mean, we're in the Wild West, decentralized finance. It's very exciting. So that's probably why Ether is going to be another one. We do have a fund right now only with 2 currencies in it. This is a private fund, and that's Bitcoin and Ether. But we're scouring the scene. Some of the custody arrangements associated with others, like Decred, aren't quite there yet. So, again, we're picking our spots carefully. And so, yes, we think it's an asset class. We think Bitcoin itself will, I was quoted in some paper, I never said this, but someone did some homework and added what I was saying up and said, ARK thinks this is a $10 trillion opportunity when it came to Bitcoin. And I said, I never said that, but I did actually say it with the building blocks. We think institutional could institutional going to say 5 or 6% of institutional portfolios, again, very low correlation. And that's sort of where real estate and emerging markets went. That would add $500,000 to Bitcoin's price. So right there, that's nearly a tenfold increase. If you look at playing the role of cash on the balance sheet, which is, we did not incorporate this into our institutional white paper because we didn't expect it, to be honest. But now we see Square and Tesla and MicroStrategy. They have diversified some. In the case of Square and Tesla, it's 5 and 8% respectively. MicroStrategy, it's 100% of their cash in Bitcoin. So if you were to expect 1%, if corporations did that, I think this is just a U.S. calculation too, that would be a 40,000 increase in Bitcoin. If it's 10%, closer to where Tesla is, that would be a $400,000 increase in the price. So again, another 8-fold increase. So, and those are just 2 use cases. I mean, the biggest use case is an insurance policy for anyone in the world.
Let's talk about it. I mean, your big call on Tesla, you've been proven right there. For your big ideas for 2021, you write about, you've got number 7 electric vehicles and number 9 autonomous ride hailing. So we've had news this week from Faraday Future going public in a SPAC. We've got GM's announcement to go all electric by 2035. What's your outlook for EV? And could you imagine ARK investing heavily in names other than Tesla, giving some of this news that we have coming out?
Well, we're looking, because if we're right, this market is going to go from 2.2 million sales, that's units, in 2020, it might be 2.3, to 40 million in 2025. So all of these announcements have increased our confidence that the capital markets are going to finance this transition from internal combustion engine to electric. That's great. Who is going to be leading the charge, so to speak? We still think it is Tesla, certainly in the United States. Even in China, Tesla is the number 1 brand. Now, the smaller vehicles in China, there is a company, I've forgotten its name. It might be associated with SAIC and GM, by the way, that is pulling ahead, but that's not counted as a true electric vehicle. These are the ones that go 25 miles an hour, golf cart types of things. So we think that China might hold the secret as to the next big winners. We know that NIO, we do not own NIO. It's a battery swapping company. So instead of charging, they swap batteries. That is going to win win the day. We think that XPeng, which we do not own, but which is emulating Tesla, might. We're seeing, and we do own in our more specialized strategies, BYD was a battery manufacturer to begin with, and Warren Buffett has owned for many years a piece of BYD. That has done very well. We own that. And then Geely, which bought Volvo, and I believe the chairman of Geely owns a position in Daimler. It is also doing a lot of interesting things in terms of partnering with various companies, including Baidu. So if I had to give you which of the Chinese names we have the highest conviction in, it's probably Baidu. And that had been a hard sell for me because their search business was falling apart. And it did seem to me, with more than 150 or 200 electric vehicle manufacturers, many being government subsidized, that there would be a bloodbath. And Baidu's, the government has deemed it the autonomous platform for China. We weren't sure whether to believe that or not, or if it would get caught up in the carnage, but it does seem to be doing something very interesting. And there's also another company called AutoX. This is more, they're working with Dongfeng, which is mostly involved in the trucking space. But we did take note that AutoX has gotten approval from California to go fully autonomous there. I didn't know that until very recently, so that could be another one to watch.
I want to talk about crypto. We've got number 6 and 7, Bitcoin's fundamentals and Bitcoin preparing for institutions. So, you've got a lot of fans in the crypto space. I want to know what you think here. And of course, Bitcoin, some people think, look, it's already hit its highs for 2021, the high water mark of above 40,000. What's ARK's thinking here?
We do not agree with that. And what's been interesting this time around is if you look at Google search trends for Bitcoin or Bitcoin's price against the Bitcoin price itself, you'll find that there's not a lot of speculative activity by that measure. In fact, in 2017, they were 1 for 1 together, but it has been pretty quiescent until maybe very recently, but throughout last year. And so that gave us a lot of